remains that while Lady Celeste has made excellent progress with the Griffins, we cannot afford for her to leave the country with us when we do seek out the Keeper. Perhaps we could extend her an invitation to reside here, in the palace, while we are away. It is a show of trust that will still allow her to keep a firm hold over her own people. Please send an order to the court mages for a communication mirror to be made for her. We will keep her apprised regularly throughout our journey. Even if she cannot travel with us, we can remain in contact and include her in our decision-making process. It's been a long day. Let us adjourn for now. Everyone get some rest.
Dearest, you're a sight for sore eyes. How has your day been? Why must I tell you about my day first? Well, all right. It's been fairly busy. First, my fitting for my new gauntlets, then a brief meeting with the heads of trade. We had previously established a price cap on essentials like grain and salt to keep the basics affordable for our people. Now that the Griffin threat has tapered off, we've been able to remove it, though we have opted to continue the higher tariff on luxury and magical items until we're able to resolve the imbalance in magic. Not all are happy about it, no, but it's necessary. And once that meeting was done, we had a council meeting for the last 4 hours. Very exhausted, yes, but quite refreshed at the prospect of your company for the evening. I believe I managed to eat a slice of bread with jam on my way to my first meeting. Aside from that, no, I haven't really had anything to eat. A quiet meal in my chambers sounds lovely. It was very thoughtful of you to arrange that. You're in a very good mood. What's happened? Really? Well, don't keep me waiting. What is it? You mean to say that Braylon's found the location? I see. And this city name combined with the history tome will tell us where exactly the Keeper resides? That's fantastic news. This has been going on so long, I thought perhaps we'd have to bring a large army to turn over every stone in the northern continent. And of course, that would look like an invasion, which would cause all sorts of diplomatic incidents, but speaking to the monarch of whatever country the Keeper happens to be in could take even longer than personally combing every piece of land. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. But that does not change the fact that I will still need to send word to the ruler of wherever we're going. Let them know of my impending visit. What's the name of the city? But that's in Saphira, is it not? Do I get to meet my in-laws sooner than we'd planned? Well, that's very convenient. Will you send word, let them know we're coming? Thank you. What is it? No, I don't know much about them. Aside from what was recorded in the tomes, that is. I know you lost your mother, Queen Isadora, when you were a child. I know that your father, King Simon, remarried shortly thereafter, and that the current queen, your stepmother Petra, bore him a son. I believe your brother Stefan is several years younger. Well, thank you, but my knowledge stops there. The last entry we have was Stefan's birth, so we're a bit behind. But I'd love to hear more about your family from your own lips. Your own wonderful, kissable lips. Right now? But anyone could walk in. Perhaps you would be so kind as to accompany me to my chambers. Don't worry. There's a servant's passage we can use that won't take us back out through the main hall. We won't be stopped by the council or by Ambrose. Come on. Yes, we should eat the meal you've had prepared for us. It would be a shame to let it spoil. I am quite capable of... All right. Thank you. So, tell me, what is your family like? Well, you haven't said much about them, and that may well be for a reason, but seeing as I'm to meet them, I should be prepared, should I not? Why not? Surely you understand it would be incredibly rude to be only a day's ride away and not make time for a visit, especially seeing as how we're bringing a small army with us. That's how diplomatic incidents begin, you know. I see. Is the situation that difficult? Well, I had heard that your stepmother had become a bit unpleasant, and that your father's advanced age led to questions regarding whether he's fit for the throne, but I dismiss them as rumors. 9 times out of 10, there is very little truth, if any, to the rumors spread about ruling families, and given that I overheard it years ago among drunken sailors at one of the portside taverns, I had even less reason to suspect that the whispers had any credibility. I do sometimes spend time in taverns, yes. At least I used to. What does anyone do in taverns? Drink, make merry, perform acts of espionage. Well, I'll have you join me sometime, assuming I get the freedom to do so again. But, forgive me, I don't understand. You're the heir to the throne. What does your stepmother have to gain by antagonizing everyone? Is she that bitter that there was another queen before her? Well, perhaps it's best if we don't understand. She strikes me as an incredibly unhappy woman. What sort of person is Stefan? What does that mean? Do you not know your own brother? You were never close? I don't know, actually. Ambrose is the closest thing I've had to a sibling, and he and I are close at that. No matter. Do you suppose there's any danger in you going home? Good. Well, while I'm glad there's no real harm, I wouldn't want to endanger your sanity either. For if your sanity goes, then mine will follow shortly thereafter, and then where would we be? I am sorry that your father is unwell. I know the two of you were quite attached once. It must be difficult to see him in decline, growing older. Well, don't worry. We have just one small task to do before we can turn our attentions to Saphira, and then we can sort out his prosperity and comfort in his old age. Restoring a balance to magic itself shouldn't take long, right? What will you say when you write to your father? I am sure he'll understand that it's a matter of utmost urgency, and to make time for a visit could cost lives. Perhaps if things go well, then on our way back we can try to meet with just him. I can draw Queen Petra away to a ladies' tea and leave you a chance to see your father in private. Of course I would. I'd do anything to see you happy. If that means spending a few hours with your cold, slimy excuse for a stepmother, then so be it. I'm sorry that you haven't known the warmth of a loving home since you were a child. Me? No, I was lucky. I was only an orphan for a moment. I don't remember my birth parents. I don't even know their names. I have no memories of any home other than the wonderful one my adoptive parents raised me in. But you had a happy home taken away from you when your mother died. Your stepmother may not have been outwardly cruel, and I'm grateful for that, but you were still a child who deserved warmth and love. She denied you that, and I'm sorry. Why's that? I'm relieved to hear you say that. It means the world to me that you're happy here. How long do we have before we must pack up and head to the northern continent? Why is it up to me? Very well. I suppose, if we know the city we're headed to, then we shouldn't waste any time. The academics simply must identify the exact location near the city, and they can do that while we begin our journey. They can communicate to us once they have an answer. Tomorrow might be a bit soon, but 2 days after, it should give us enough time to load a ship and prepare for the journey. No, Ambrose will be here, running things in my absence. And I've gotten the council's approval to extend an invitation to Lady Celeste to stay here at the palace. Her expertise will be instrumental in continuing to manage the Griffins and their allies in the aftermath of Lord Grimald's trial. As much as he likely deserves it, no. Executing him will not solve anything. Spending the rest of his life serving the humans that he formerly antagonized, now that is justice. No, his magic will not come back. The process is irreversible. We don't often dole out that sentence, but those who have proven to abuse their magic and use it to harm others have it taken away. No, it was not my decision. I was not the most wronged by Lord Grimald, so I only enforced the choice the people made. What they deemed was fair. But he is no longer a threat, and his daughter has done nothing but good for Citeron, so I trust her. Besides, I shall need her influence to convince Braylon to stay here in the meantime. Of course. I've grown very fond of that child. Her bravery and resilience are astounding. What do you think of her? I noticed that you take a daily walk with her along the palace walls and through the garden. I won't ask you what you speak of, but how are you getting on with her? Good. That's good to hear. I'm just pondering is all. Nothing I can direct too much energy to at the moment. And where do you think you're going? Come back to me. While I admire your initiative, it's a bit late in the day to start chaos by announcing our impending departure. We'll tell the council and Ambrose in the morning so that we can begin making the necessary arrangements. In the meantime, what do you say to escaping up to our mountaintop sanctuary and watching the sunset, and then staying to greet the stars? Well, I've learned to enjoy these moments while we have them. It seems that there's always something about to go wrong, so I soak up these pleasant bits of rest when I can. I'm glad that you're going with me. I'm no stranger to a hard journey, but I've come to rely on your support. And to be honest, I don't want to be parted from you. What kind of promise, dearest? I'm always careful. I know that I tend to put my people first, as I should, but I guarantee you, if the scale of this mess is anything close to what we've imagined, then the life of one queen could not correct it. If I must lay down my life for my people, I will, but I would not do so recklessly, you know that. But I made a vow to you at our wedding, just as I did to my people at my coronation. So, I promise I will try to be careful. I will not risk my life needlessly. I wish I could tell you not to worry, but I know you would anyway. On the contrary, it is an honor to have you worrying about me. Come, let's get out of here for a while.